Hello, this is a reintroduction to this snowblower here behind me. It's a TroyBilt. I started a video on this about a week ago. Halfway through the video, I realized I forgot to turn on the mic. So a lot of this is going to have to be voiced over, but I'll show you where we're at right now. This is my pastor's snowblower. He asked me to take a look at it. It would not start. This is a TroyBilt snowblower. It's fairly new. It only ran like twice from my understanding. Pastor got it from another member in our church. They moved to an area where they didn't need it anymore. It's a 26-inch blower. It's only run twice, like I said. It's got a 208cc Power More engine on it, which is something that's a little new to me because I'm not familiar with these engines. I had to do a little bit of research on them to even find out what mower this was or engine this was. It's a little dirty, but the thing's in really nice shape. So let's troubleshoot it and find out what's going on with it. If you're familiar with these Power More engines, leave a comment in the comments section and let us know what you think of them, good, bad, or indifferent. First thing we did was we checked the oil to make sure that the oil was clean and full, and it looks fairly clean, which I suspected since it's a fairly new machine. The next thing we wanted to do is we want to check the fuel tank, see what the gas looks like in it, see if it's varnished or old. And as we took off the cap and looked, it looked fairly clean. It did not smell varnished or anything. It looked like pretty fresh fuel. So I assume that was what the pastor put in. The next thing we want to do on this after checking the fuel is we want to check the spark, which I was told it does have spark. The pastor said he tried starting it and got a good shock from the spark plug. So I'm assuming it does have spark, but I just want to go and check it for myself. So let's do that. So we hooked up the electric starter. We grounded out the plug. And as you'll see, we got a decent spark out of this. The spark is not the issue here. So let's move on and see what we're going to do. We're going to check the float bowl and see what that looks like. Okay, the microphone will soon be coming on. We will have our original sound and I won't have to voice over anymore. Stay tuned. Yeah, I just realized I didn't have my microphone turned on, so let's see what she does. All right, well. Well, I'm going to take a little more investigation in that. So, down here, I don't know if you can see it, but we'll try to bring it in. Is your float bowl. We'll try to open that up a little bit and see what happens. If we got any gas coming out of it. Take this off. See if we got any fuel flowing out of it. And let's see if she runs any fuel out. Let me get something to catch it with. All right, let's see if we get any fuel out of here. We got nothing coming out. Okay. Now, one thing I didn't check, which I don't think this one has it, is if there's a shut off. Because when I primed it, I didn't feel anything coming out of the. Didn't feel like anything was priming either. So we are going to have to start taking this apart. See why we're not getting any fuel. Let me see if anything, just out of curiosity, starts running this way. And we got something coming out of there. Oh, it don't look good though. Oh, that smells like varnish. That definitely, carburetor's definitely messed up. All right. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's pretty varnished. All righty. So I'm going to have to remove. Okay, I'm going to have to remove the shroud to get to that carburetor. So far, what we had to do is remove this, get this cover to be able to move off. Took out these two bolts here. Cover comes across here, over to the starter. And I'm going to pull the starter off because it's being held under there. So we're going to pull the starter off. And I'll come back when I get to that. Okay, so all you have to do is take this bottom screw out. That pulls out. Now we're being held in by all the gadgetry over there. So, and there we go. Now we got you up there. And you'll see what I'm doing there. We're going to have to pull that throttle control off. Should just slide off the edge of that, and then we should be able. I guess this is going to have to come off too. Not sure. Should just pry off. Stuff's a pain in the neck. I don't know why they do this. Yeah, she's coming off. Break these. Sometimes they'll break on you if you don't do it right. But it's come off. There we go. Coming off a little at a time. There's still something holding that though. Some of these you don't even have to take this off. You should be able to just do it without it. But this one here, I don't see another way around it. There it goes. That's one of them. Okay, it looks like we have down there, we have a couple screws in there to hold it down there too, so I want to take them out. After removing those few screws that are up underneath that cover there, there's two in the back there. If you see me looking in the back, the one is taken out already. There's one underneath the red chute bracket there that I have to take that bracket off to get to the one screw that's underneath that bracket, which is kind of a dumb design, which I hate to say that, but it's true. It's a dumb design. So I have to take that off and take that bracket off to get that to that one screw underneath there to get that cover off the top. Leave a comment below if you have any tricks you've learned over the years that might help with working on something like this. Be helpful for anybody that might be watching. All right, guys, I'm going to have to call it for today. Starting to hurt too much, and I shouldn't be doing this bending down. It's a little early since my injury, but I'm trying to do it, get it done here, but too much right now. I'm going to have to hold off for a little bit. I'll see you in a little bit. I'm in the process of getting these covers off here. I got to get to the carburetor. It is kind of a weird setup. I cannot get this cover off without taking this cover off here, which is bolted back behind there, so they make it nice and difficult. We took these loose. I'm going to have to take them off though to get this off, get behind there. I was kind of hoping that slid on it, but it doesn't. So getting kind of warm out here today after all this cold weather we've been having. Pretty nice out. All right, I'm taking this jacket off because it's getting warm. All right, here. Does that actually go under there? All right, there we go. I might be able to do it that way. You can leave that. There we go. That's what I'm after. It was on that one now. Was yep. So that's where. Okay, that's what we want to do right there. So we'll put that back in later. All right. All righty. Put this back here before we lose it. Get this up out of my way. Now we can get to that carburetor. Now I'm hoping I can just turn this cover without pulling that throttle off, choke lever. Okay, now. All right, so now what's holding that? Now let's take that cover off. See if I'm missing something under here. Definitely more difficult than the older ones. Get this breather tube off. Maybe that'll let me get through here. Come on. There we go. That's what was holding it, that stupid tube. Alright, so maybe we can get off far enough here and move. Nope, we're going to still have to pull that lever. I don't want to do all this, but I guess I got to. Alright. Still hoping to be able to just give this a turn, which I can't. There we go. Maybe I can do it now. There we go. Yeah, I must say they do make it more difficult than it has to be, that's for sure. Alright, let's see if we get this fuel line off. Let it run into there for a while. And now we can pull the carb off. So now we should be able to pull this off. We can leave that gasket on there for now. And we will show you what we got here. See what we got here. Okay. I say it shouldn't be that hard. I had it off once. Yeah, look at that. Oh, well, you can see all that, but it's pretty nasty. It's okay. I cannot get any air through this carburetor. So it's definitely gummed up. I'm going to have to soak this carburetor. So I can't even blow through the inlet. So it's pretty well gummed up. I use this gunk parts cleaner. Behrman makes some too. It's all good. Yeah, I'm probably going to leave it soaking here for about 24 hours. If you're going to soak these things, you want to make sure you take your little gaskets and stuff off. You don't want to soak them in this stuff. I'm not going to really soak this inlet screw that much, but I am going to soak this. Take the breather tube off. Any little rubber parts. We got some plastic parts on here too that I'm not real crazy about putting in there, but we will. I do put the floats in there, and I've done that before. Ooh, why ain't that coming out of there? Pulled the pin. The needle is so stuck I cannot get that float out of there. Wow. That float is like stuck in there. Wow. That was so stuck in there that needle that refused to come out. I think mainly all the problem is mainly up in here because it wasn't even getting fuel through it. So I'm not going to disassemble the whole thing. I'm going to get a small screwdriver, pull this gasket out of here. All right. I may end up having to get me a gasket kit for this, but that's fine. Get that. That will swell up if you put this in this chemical. So at this point, I'm just going to soak it, and then we're going to spray it with carb cleaner as I take it apart and all that. Yeah, I think it's mainly the inlet, so after this soaks for a while, that should clear up. So I'll be back in a day and check this out, put it back together, and we'll see if it's going to run. All right, it's the next day. We're back here with the stove blower. We soaked this carburetor overnight. We're now going to pull it out of the can here and see if we manage to do anything and see what we can do with it. So let's see what we got. I did not soak this needle because it's got a rubber tip, but I am going to wipe it a little bit with this cleaner because it was pretty stuck in there. So let me see what we got going here. Make sure it's going to work freely in there. Yes, it does. If you remember yesterday, I had to pry the float bowl off of there because that was so seized in there. So now I can falls right back out, so we have no problem with that. I still want to make sure I get more of this flowing through here though. Okay, I think that's really all she's going to need. A little bit of cleaning. This was an older machine or something, I probably would have taken out the emulsion tube and all that, but I think it's pretty good. I'm just going to spray some fluid through it. Alrighty, got our spring. I'm going to put our float bow back in after we wipe her down a little bit. If you remember yesterday, I had trouble getting this float out. As you can see though, it fits through there perfectly and it don't fight me. So that was being held in there by that needle, that inlet needle. And here's where it gets fun. You gotta get your fat fingers down in there. Get that on there like that. Drop your float bowl down in there. Get your needle lined up. Get your little pin. And I'm not sure if you'll see me get this pin in there or not. It's going to be hard to do with holding it in the air like that. Get her started. We'll go without the float. Yep, there it goes. There we go. We've got our pin in. Now our float will drop. We're good. Okay, it's a couple days later, and I'm back on this snowblower. Had to give it up due to my back aching a little bit, but we're going to try to finish it up today. Can't tell if it's priming or not. Sounds like it is. Okay, keys in. We're on choke. We are on there. Okay, she's not running very fast. Yeah, she runs, but she's not running very good. So it sounds like the throttle's not set up right. Okay, as you see, it's running, but it's not running full throttle. I'm not sure why. I checked the throttle when I was putting it together, but I have to see what's going on here. It could just still be a carburetor issue for being all gummed up. Okay, that's much better. Okay, that's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you watching, and please hit the like, the share, and subscribe button. If this helped you any, let me know. Thanks again for watching.